Hey everybody, it's 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and that means you're listening to Chopping It Up on Crazy Country 105.9, and I am your host, Keith Saarloos. And what we do on the show is we talk to people in the Valley who live here, who found the Valley, who are just absolutely interesting, people who are holding it together by the shoestrings, because we all live in a wonderful place that we all love living in. And today we're going to talk to a very special person, Lisa Palmer. We're going to talk about the Ynez Aquatics Foundation and a bunch of other stuff. But first, I want to welcome Lisa into the show and say hello. How are you doing?
Hi, Keith.
Hey,
I'm
how are
well.
you?
How about you? Thanks
Perfect.
so much for having me today. I'm honored and excited to be here.
See, it's not so scary.
No.
This is fun.
Nothing scares me anymore.
I love it. I love it. So, Lisa, tell me about, how did you guys find the Valley?
Well, let's see. In the short version is, my dad used to come up here to the Starling Ranch when he was a kid.
Really?
Way, way back in the day. And then my first recollection of being in the Valley was when I was a teenager as a babysitter.
Yeah.
And then I ended up moving from after school and some other locations, moving to Santa Barbara in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to the Valley in 1997. So we just hit 28 years.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, my husband, Steve, went to UCSB and never left. So we've been so grateful and feel so fortunate to have been able to carve out a life and make a living and get to call the Ynez Valley home. We've lived in Los Olivos now for, a little over 28 years.
Isn't that amazing? And how much, just talking about that, how much Los Olivos itself has changed?
A lot.
A lot.
I mean, when we moved there was 2 tasting rooms.
Yep.
There were art galleries.
Yep.
There was the video store, Grand Tales. We
Yep.
had a little bookstore.
Yep.
So we've seen a huge evolution and
yeah.
change. I've always contended during the recession, but for the wine industry, we would have been boarded up as a community. So,
I couldn't agree more.
we're fortunate to have, the matured, evolved industry. We, ag industry, including wine here in the Valley that we enjoy today.
We've been in the Valley now for, since 98. So that's, almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that went fast. But, Los Olivos, when we were first coming in, it was, like you're saying, there were the art dealer, but there were some other really beautiful things like the Quick Draw, right? The Quick Draw was amazing. And I hope that comes back. I know they're working on that. But seeing, like you said, with the mature industry and people being able to live and work in the Ynez Valley and to create a life for their family. Like when you said that hit me really hard, like right in the chest.
Well,
because
it's a choice.
It is. And there is a lot of other places that may be easier to live. And what I mean by easier, I mean, make some money, move in, you can, drive into work. It takes you a half hour to get there and a half hour to get home, or if you're lucky. But it is such a beautiful thing where I always describe what we do as like a glorified farm stand, where we're growing grapes less than a mile from our tasting room. We're making it less than a mile from our tasting room, and then we're bringing them back to our tasting room to sell it. And because of that, the last 20 years, I've got to live in the Valley. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. It is.
And very lucky. Everybody who's listening to this is figuring, my friend Jeff Seek once said, it's not what you'd pay to live in the Valley, it's what you've given up. And if you give up certain things, you get a lot in return. Because, where you were talking about the video store, but now in Los Olivos in particular, there's 4 amazing restaurants, right?
Right. I mean, we're spoiled. We walk to dinner from our house. We have so many amazing options, and I'm so excited to have the culinary vibrancy that we have, and it's evolving.
Yeah, and we have a Michelin star and a 5-star resort in a town of 1,000 people.
I know.
It's wonderful.
Who'da thunk?
Who'da thunk? So tell me about why you're here today, because what you're here to discuss, and everybody, is the Ynez Aquatic Foundation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what is the Ynez Aquatic Foundation? Why were you guys formed, and what are you guys doing?
So, good question. Thanks for asking, and thanks again for having us here. So, the Ynez Valley Community Aquatics Foundation was actually formed in 2014, before my involvement. And at that point, it was to look for a location for an aquatics complex in the valley.
Yep.
And let me, before I go further, say we've never had year-round public swim access in the San Ynez Valley. We've had a high school pool for 60 years now with some summer access.
Yep.
You know, it was community built, you know, just like we're envisioning today. But 50 years hence in 2014, there was a concerted group of other, you know, like-minded community members looking for a location. And, you know, I won't go into the feasibility study, but the long and the short of it is, after getting close on some other properties in the valley, we ended up back focused on bringing an aquatics complex to the high school campus. You know, it's an existing public asset. It's a center, you know, it's a community center.
It's a gathering
node for the valley, especially since we have one high school. They're in need of a new competition pool, as I know you know full well. So that was 2014. 2016, there was a group that included Gary Hall Jr., who's a 10-time Olympic swimmer.
Oh, yeah.
Or 10-time Olympic medalist swimmer, and Bruce Porter and some other folks who had the opportunity to purchase a Murtha brand Olympic trials pool that had been used in the Omaha.
Yes.
The 2016 Olympic swim trials. So Murtha pool, really quickly, it's a stainless steel component pool. It is both from a construction and then operations and maintenance standpoint, very cost-effective, energy efficient. You know, long-term operations and maintenance are better than a traditional pool. So
best in class.
Absolutely. So those folks seized the opportunity. You know, Gary Hall brought that opportunity to us with the San Ynez Valley Youth Rec and the Chumash and an anonymous donor. They put together the money to purchase those components and bring them to the valley, which we did to great fanfare in 2017, which is when I got involved in the project.
So if you can sum up, just why would anybody who's listening to this right now, right? I know the answer to this, so this is a leading question.
Right.
I'm not
the
a real
softball.
I'm not a real
baby.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm not a real journalist. I'm here to talk about great stuff. What can you tell us, what does an aquatic center bring to a community? Why when people think about an aquatic center, they'll think, oh, a pool. Why is a pool so important in a community? I, for one, know the answer to this, but I want to hear from you. Why is a pool such a big part of a community?
Good question.
Thank you.
That's the $1 million question, or
Right.
$13.7 million question.
Yeah.
So we're two things. One is we're looking at creating a two-pool complex. So it would be a competition pool that would serve primarily for the high school use, and then a recreation community pool.
Correct.
That would fulfill all those other needs. And I look at it as 4 parts. You know, as you look at the fabric of the community, it's life-saving skills. You know, drowning is the number 1 cause of death for kids 1 to 4.
Yep.
It's a second cause for 5 to 14. So there's just that life skill, learn to swim.
And right now, where can they get
opportunity.
that?
Well, from a public standpoint, for our rec programs, they take kids to Santa Maria and Lompoc.
Correct.
To get in the pool.
Right.
If you have access to a private pool, you have access to those lessons. You've got the YMCA, which offers, it's a membership organization, offers them. There are places you can go, certainly.
But there isn't something for everyone.
Public access with transportation and hours that are conducive, particularly to dual, we've got so many families who are working 2 jobs, their kids are in school, they want to do right by them, but giving them that opportunity and making it easier, that's really my passion.
Absolutely.
Because this is something that, like I said, it's a life skill. So there's that portion. There's the health and wellness. You've got the learn to swim. You've got seniors, which again don't have public access currently. You've got youth and recreation. So there's a recreation component, and then there's a competition component, right? For not just our students, but masters, club, whatever kind of competition, swim, water polo. A little plug for, inner tube water polo.
Love that.
So, and we talk so often about the lack of opportunities for youth to have something to do in the Valley. Being able, I don't know about you, I rode my bike to the high school pool or to the community pool and hung out with my friends and swam
it's a safe gathering spot for everyone.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And so I think from a community fabric standpoint, and vibrancy, both from a health, wellness, recreation, and truly a life skill standpoint, that's why we need it. And to me, just if I can add on to that, given the resources and the generosity and the abundance we enjoy here in the Valley, it just seems like it's something we should have, and it just takes the work to make it happen.
Well, absolutely. I mean, when you were just kind of running down that list, there isn't an age group that won't benefit from having a community pool in the San Ynez Valley. Number one. Two, when you brought up Gary Hall, right? I am always blown away by how many Olympic level athletes live in this valley. I think the count is 10. Like 10 people that are either grown up here or part of the San Ynez Valley community that have gone to the Olympics. So we have an unbelievable well of actual athletic activity that's happening in this valley all the time. And right now, my son does play on the water polo team, so I'm a big fan of the aquatics in general. But they only have 4 home games this year, which is a travesty. If you grow up and you're playing football or soccer or any other sport, right? Your whole goal is to have your community, your school, come out and support you, right?
Right.
And since right now we have a shallow, deep pool, which has kind of gone by the wayside. And by being a parent of someone who's in the pool, and I can say firsthand, I have seen what the Aquatics Foundation and what aquatics in just the San Ynez Valley has done for my son and a bunch of his friends and kids that are older and kids that are younger. It has been just an unbelievable opportunity for really, really special kids. And what I mean by special is a lot of these kids are like ranch kids that love the ocean, love the water. And when they get in the water, you see something that's totally different. It's transformative. As soon as my son hits the water, he goes, I feel calm. Right. And then he goes out there and competes. I've seen his body change. I've seen him, think about his health and wellness in a totally different way. Right.
Right.
He was part of that group that was doing kind of that pickup water polo game when he was younger and kind of found it and said, oh, wait, this is really I think this is my sport. I love going out and doing it. He's like, it's Tuesday night, threw him in the pool. They'd play in the dark, with the lights and everything else. And then he'd get out and he was so drained and exhausted physically that we saw a transformation in him in the classroom where he was expending huge amounts of energy, loving every minute of it, and the calm that came after him being in the pool. And then just to dovetail off the back of that, when you have little kids who, if you introduce them to the pool early, they're number one, life skill. They're learning how to swim. They're also getting to know people. Tons of people kind of gather around, water holes. And that's a funny way to
gather around the water hole.
It really
it's nourishing, it's life-giving, it's
totally.
water.
And then when you see people that can't, like a high impact walking or running or anything else, maybe they don't have the bones to do that anymore, or they're getting a little older in life.
Careful, you're getting a little close to
I'm
home.
sorry.
I'm not there yet,
You're
but
not
I can
there.
see the future.
But like my mom, my mother has bone cancer. She played pickleball. She's an athlete and everything else. And just throwing her in that pool and having, what is it? Water yoga, water aerobics, all of the
aqua fitness
aqua
is what
fitness.
I'm calling it.
Thank
Aerobics
you very much.
Anyway,
80s, right?
Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, but then it gives you that opportunity to move your body, build up muscle in a very great way where you're not injuring yourself.
And doing it with other people.
Exactly,
and supporting
right.
each other in the process.
Because
So,
I see what you want to what you want to do is gather the community together, raise the funds so that we have a new place that will be, quote unquote, I hope, overrun by people who are, I want to go to the pool today. You know, a kid just like, hey, I'm going to ride my bike down. I'm going to go swim. You know, my favorite movie in the world is Sandlot, right? It's like, where were they? We're going, it's too hot. We're going to the pool. Right. And just seeing a gathering spot. Because right now you can drive by Sunnyfields Park and there might not be a person in it, right? And I know that that's a great big field with grass. They have to mow everything all the time. But what we're talking about is a location that is going to be active. That's probably going to be going from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, with people coming in and using it. And what a resource, you know? And I love the fact that you're leading the charge on this to raise the capital so that to go the last mile, because that's really where you are, right?
Yes. I mean, define mile.
I know. Sometimes miles are the hard. Last mile is the hardest.
You know, a couple things I could touch on just
Please.
As because we are going to have the facility, the complex on a school campus. Mm-hmm. We've designed it such that you can have concurrent use of both pools during the day.
Yep.
But the school use is secure.
Yep.
We have rolling gates, you know, locking fences where the students can come and go for PE, you know, as you would on any secure campus, and at the same time be having concurrent community use in the other pool for, you know, seniors, for the learn to swim, for therapeutic, for, you know, special needs, for veterans, for whatever, you know. We've got a great programming team. I can talk more about that in a minute if you want. Touching on the last mile. So, you know, capital projects, building new things is expensive.
Very.
We're fortunate that we have a school district that A, needs a pool, but B, has the land, right? So and as taxpayers in the Valley, we're all paying for that resource anyway. So to do the two pools, it's $13.7 million is the current estimate. We've raised or have committed $4.2 million, we have a ways to go. Of course. But for that amount to, I think, be brought in the Valley is significant and shows the commitment, especially from a number of our early funders. And I'm happy to give them a shout out before we wrap up here. Our goal is to be at $8.5 million by the end of this year, so the last quarter. And we're going to be within striking distance of that. So, and then the balance would be wrapped up in 2026. Our goal is to have fundraising nearly complete or be able to do the math by the end of 2026. At the same time, we'll be moving the plans for the project through the state architecture. Because it's on school property, we have to go, that approval process is through the State Department of Architecture, but we're doing that concurrently so that by the time we finish raising the money, we have an approved project ready to go. It'll be shovel ready. So I've
been able to go to a lot of different aquatic facilities, you know, chasing my son around. Right now they're playing in Morro Bay, San Luis Obispo, just to name a few. How are they paying? Because those facilities, I know it might be maybe not everybody who's listening to this has been to an updated aquatic facility. And those aquatic facilities are I mean, when I say unbelievable, they are shocking. They are absolutely gorgeous. It just seems like a place you want to go to. Like, my mindset is like, oh, you're building a pool. Why would a pool cost $13 million? But the truth of the matter is you're building a location. You're building a facility. You're building something that can cover all of those bases that you were talking about before. And they are state of the art. They're absolutely beautiful. And it seems like they are full all of the time. Because one of the things that we see is there's tournaments that happen all over the place, right? And then
that we can't host. We
can't even have a home game, really, in all honesty. How are those people funding that?
Well, by and large,
Yeah.
it's primarily bond money.
There we go.
And in combination with private funding.
Right.
But most that we've looked at, and if you want to know more, I can find those examples. But by and large, it's through bond.
And so
that's had we've had attempts that have been successful, attempts that haven't succeeded. So I think, again, we're like, well, from the community aspect, I mean, yes, the high school needs a new pool, but in addition, the community needs a community asset for all the reasons we just talked about. And hence the private effort to build it.
And that's the thing I wanted to throw flowers at you for doing, right? Because there's one measure where you're like, hey, just so you know, your property taxes are going to go up by a bunch of money. And it seems like every other location has done that.
Right.
Where in the San Ynez Valley, and I'm saying I appreciate this very much, is like you're going, no, we're going to try to figure out how much of this we can do privately.
Right.
And donation based, because you are a 501c.
Right.
I want to make sure we get all that information on how they can contact you, how people who are listening right now can say, hey, I want to give this much, I want to give that much. Oh, hey, I want to come in and pay for the whole thing. So I hope that person's listening right now. But I just wanted to give you an accolade saying your guys are definitely taking the hard road with this, but I think you are doing it the right way. And I really appreciate that from someone who lives in the Valley, right? That you are 100% saying we're going to figure this out, which seems like a very much a Valley way to get it done. Like we'll take care of it ourselves.
Well, it's first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that because we are a very, bootstrap, figure it out solution, take care of our own, take care of ourselves, in our little donut hole here in the middle of the county.
That's
we're
right.
not South County. We're
the middle child.
We're, but that makes us creative and
Scrappy.
resourceful, scrappy,
Love
resilient.
It. Yeah.
So, I just see the community. I'm a problem solver at personally.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Yep.
And
a capable
and I
one
feel
as
like, well, thank you. And I feel like this is my community. If I can help solve the problem or realize this, I don't want to say benefit, but enriching the fabric of our community and giving our all residents, as you said, I say 1 to 101.
Yep.
All residents can benefit from this and use it for physical health, mental health, wellness, and community connection. So,
well, just what you were just saying right there, I think one of the things that everybody needs to realize, because you already see the vision, right? And I see the vision. One of the things that maybe people don't realize is that once you have this thing in the ground, right? Once it is open for the community, the benefits are so massive that when people finally figure out, oh, isn't it great we have a pool now? And then all of a sudden the benefit ratio starts going off the scale, right? When you're talking about, again, a kid just learning how to swim for the first time. Not only is that a life skill, but it also develops it's a real victory for a young kid. Once they learn that they know how to swim and they are self-sufficient, it builds something inside of them saying,
confidence.
I can, exactly right. And then you go into just the athletes that are in this valley, right? And seeing someone find their sport.
And we want to keep them here.
Exactly.
We've lost, you talk about Olympic.
There we go.
Talent. We've lost Olympic potential.
Cammie Craig.
To Santa. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
If you want to have that next level of competition and,
Agreed.
with all, we've done and our water polo and swimming folks have done a great job with what they have to work with here in the Valley. But creating that feeder system and the opportunity for kids and a feeder system that allows them to excel in their, in their backyard, in and for their community. To your point,
huge.
Without a CIF regulation pool, I mean, I have to give a plug to Superintendent Kimberly Sheehan.
She's
been
awesome.
An amazing partner.
She, by the way, she is magnificent. One of the greatest hires in the San Ynez Valley there's ever been.
And we are so fortunate, for her vision and leadership, but also she's done this. She's built pools. She's She's done aquatic programming. She's got some great ideas for how we integrate. So I feel like, the stars are aligning with all of the players and the elements to bring this to fruition.
One of the things that people might not know about just the aquatic program that we do have that is basically, being built on a car with 3 wheels, if you will. There has been so many like Olympic athletes that have come through the valley. And then if we would, I guess the thing I'm trying to say is this San Ynez Valley would become an absolute shocking powerhouse of athleticism with a pool, because we have had, I think it's 3 Olympic athletes that have come through here aquatically that have had to leave, and they don't put San Ynez Valley on the map. Right. And if we would have that, this could become just an absolute pull, not only for a community pride location, but I would love to see that facility when people are competing for state, when people are our water polo team, when people want to play, you build a new football field, a lot of people want to start playing football.
Right.
And I have seen just in the kids who, if you ever get a chance and you get to meet a kid, a boy or girl who's on the water polo team in the San Ynez Valley, you have met a special person.
I have.
They are unbelievable. I mean, we've been driving to games before where I was driving a van and had a blown out tire, and the entire water polo team goes time us and got out of the car, knew how to change a tire, put a tire on. In 8 minutes, we're back on the road.
That's awesome.
These are very, very capable people that are hard workers. They're diligent. They're playing probably the nastiest, hardest sport with 0 people watching.
I forget who it was. I had a colleague who said, if he sees a resume, I think we still do resumes.
Oh, yeah.
People who have water polo experience.
It's an instant hire.
They have the work ethic, they have the stick-to-itness, they have the grind and the drive and the grit.
I look for 2 things: 4-H. If I find someone that's 4-H, I'm like, hire them now, because they can get the job done. Water polo, the same thing. And when you go into like the other community aspects, I don't think a lot of people realize the physical exertion, number one, in swimming, but also the meditation aspect of people I know who swim consistently, that go down to the pool or find a place to go, which we're talking about should be the Aquatic Center in the San Ynez Valley. And they go, I swim 3 times a week. They are in shape. They are fit. They are calm. They are
well-being.
Their well-being goes off the charts. And when we have a community of people here who are getting a little bit older, right? And if we can have a place for them that is a low impact, where they get in the pool, they go see their friends, see and be seen is a big part of the valley, right? What do you want to do? I want to get out and see some people. Let's go.
Right.
We have
And it's a healthy alternative to getting out and going to see people.
Exactly right.
Meeting on the pool deck.
You don't have to see them at the bar. You can go see them on the pool deck.
Yeah.
I love it. I am so behind with what you're doing. I love the fact that you are a champion for this, but you are going to bring something that is so beneficial that most of the people in the San Ynez Valley don't, I think, fully grasp how beneficial it will be to our community. This is a flagship tentpole kind of a thing that can really, really change just the overall well-being and scope of our valley going forward. So I applaud you. So how do people get involved with this?
Well, first of all, thank you again. And if I can also thank you for your support of the effort as well. You were kind enough to host an event at your tasting room, Saarloos and Son in Los Olivos last fall. So we appreciate that, bringing your crew to learn more and get involved. As far as how folks can get involved, clearly we've got a big nut to raise. You can, if you wish, contact us or go to our website, syvaquatics.org. But we also need, time and talent as well as money. I mean,
time, talent, or treasure.
Yep,
pick one.
There are, numerous ways you can get involved, from tabling at Danish Days, this weekend, to if you have a particular skill or interest or know folks or want to help us in the fundraising effort, have some programming ideas. We've got a programming committee. We have if you're a grant writer.
Anything.
So, this is, I look at my role as really being a convener and catalyzer of so many interests and folks in the valley because we touch so many people. So, for instance, we've got senior organizations like the Bealton as well, but the Solving Senior Center and Atterdag. We've got Hidden Wings. We've got the Y. We've got Boys and Girls Club. So any other organizations you think might be interested in learning more or how they collaborate moving forward, like on the programming side, we want to hear from you. We always need folks who have time and talent in addition to the treasure, who want to get involved in how can you get involved and help your community?
Put your hand up.
Put your hand up. So again, syvaquatics.org. That's the best way, and you can find a phone number and an email on that website as well. So.
One of the things I think we should also mention is this is a valley-wide initiative, right? It goes from Bealton all the way through everybody, high school. This is touching all levels, all different groups of people, not just even the list of nonprofits and senior centers and everybody that's in here. What you're trying to do is plant the flag and dig a hole and fill it up
and open the doors.
And open the doors. I mean, I don't think there is a more noble cause in the San Ynez Valley on a big, broad scale that's going to bring more benefit into the San Ynez. There's so many different great organizations and so many great groups to be a part of in the San Ynez Valley that are all here to help other people.
Right.
This one throws a very, very large blanket across the entire valley.
Agreed.
And helps every single walk of life from the highest highs to the smallest individual who's just learning how to swim, right?
Or take that first step in making a change in their life from a fitness standpoint or a physical therapy standpoint. Or, we go through that arc of life and we have different needs at different times. If I could
please.
Just a shout out to our partners. I mean, we've got a lot of them, but you touched on the cities. Mm-hmm. So in addition to the high school district, who obviously is a partner and they're very committed to seeing this happen and working with us to make that happen, the cities of Solvang and Bealton those relationships have really evolved and matured, and they've stepped in and up. Bealton has always been a proponent. This is a municipal pool for these cities. Yep. They can't do it on their own financially, or you wouldn't want to run it on your own either for our populations that we have here. So the coalescing and coming alongside of both cities, the city of Solvang committed $450,000 in June to the project. We expect Bealton to be doing that before the end of the year as well. So in addition to their time and talent that they are investing to help us advocate and raise funds for the project, they are committing funds as well. And so I just want to not just give them a shout out, but let folks know
they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Money where their mouth is.
Absolutely.
And we've done some that it's like the data from the city surveys just reinforces what we already knew, but it's a priority, and folks think it's a priority for the city.
Yep.
To provide that service through Parks and Rec.
Well, we live in a community where going back to it tries to take care of its own, right? Mm-hmm. And it is an amazing feat that you are attempting, and I know you're going to succeed, right? And as you get closer, the wheel starts spinning faster and faster and faster. And you coming on here today was the whole goal, right? Is let the community know what you're doing and why you're doing it. I don't think there's a more noble thing to be trying to put your effort behind, and I really appreciate your time. And if you're listening to this, what we want to do is figure out how to get that long extra mile and dig a hole and open the gates and have a place that the entire community can pour into. Like you said, the last pool was put in I think it was 1965.
Right.
Right.
And to that, that was a community effort.
Yes.
That was the Elks.
Yes.
And, that was Youth Rec. The community came together and built a swimming pool. So that, the legacy is there.
So if you were around 65 years ago in the San Ynez Valley and you learned to swim in that pool has been there for your entire life. and what you're trying to do now. And I hope someone who's listening today, feels convicted, wants to be involved in this, wants to put their name up on the sign and finish that last mile, right? Because when you do this is something that your name will be on that wall for 65 years, hopefully.
Right.
And unless
what a legacy that would be.
Exactly right. I mean, if you can think of a legacy or something to do that will help more people for an entire lifetime, this is it. You teach someone how to swim when they were 1 year old, and 65 years from now, they're in the, how did you say, aquatic, not aerobics, what was the line?
Oh, aqua fitness.
Aqua fitness.
That's my too close to home. I like fitness instead of aerobics.
I love it, because then you're taking a kid from their first swim all the way through aqua fitness, right?
Yep.
And that's exactly the goal of this pool. The goal of this pool is a meeting place. It's learning, it's physical fitness, and quite honestly, this is one of those things, like when it's done, then all of a sudden everybody goes, oh, now I get it.
Right.
The goal of the Aquatics Foundation is to help you get it before the pool gets built. And the more we can do, the more outreach. Anytime you want to do another get together at the tasting room, you let me know. Our goal is, as a community, is to take care of itself, to raise the money to get kids in the pool, to see a powerhouse of athleticism come out of it, and the community pride that a kid who learned to swim in that pool and is now going to the Olympics, believe me, that is not out of the question in the San Ynez Valley.
Absolutely.
I learned to swim in that pool, and now I'm going to the Olympics because of that pool.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. So thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate your time. Go to the
aquatics.org.
There we go. SYVaquatics.org. Put your hand up, get involved, raise some money, leave a lasting legacy in the valley that we all love so much. Thank you so much for coming in. This has been Keith Saarloos on Chopping It Up, and we're going to put you back to your regularly scheduled programming on Crazy Country 105.9.